Hello, welcome to the SPSS modelers for the SPSS modeling class. Right. So we will be understanding the node palettes that we'll be working and looking towards. Fine. So for today's nodes, understanding nodes, what all will we be looking at? We'll be understanding the source nodes and importing from different source nodes with different file formats. That we'll look into. And then thereafter, we'll also be attempting and understanding the field and record ops nodes also. So when I say understanding source nodes, what do we mean by that? We mean by that we'll be importing the data. We'll be importing the data of different file formats. And when I say source nodes, it means that that particular node will be using that particular node into a stream, and then based on that we'll be able to import the data for that particular node. So with this fine, let us quickly launch the software, which no, I haven't actually. Right. So that's your software. Right. Yeah. So we need to enter the credentials, login ID, and passwords. So yes. Now, okay. So the software is getting loaded here. It's initializing helpers. So okay, fine. Finally, the software has loaded. So what do we do here? We'll be working. No, I don't want. I'm not worried about it. They'll be deleted. Okay, I don't want it. No. Okay, fine. So out here, maybe I don't need this screen to load either. So I'll close the screen. And so out here we see the favorites. So these are some of the favorite nodes that will generally be used, that people mostly use. So they have prepared a favorites list over here, the software manufacturer itself, the OEM. So suppose if you click on SQL, then that is a database. You can click on where.file. That is another node that is used. Auto data preparation, select, sample, aggregate, derive, type, filter. These are some of the most prominent nodes that are used, and therefore they are segregated separately as favorites, as you can see over here. We also have the graph board. Graph is used, of course. We have table, flat file, and auto classifier, auto numeric, auto clustering, and the database exposed to relational database. When you bring it, it reads from the relational database. So when you see this and when you see this, both symbols, there is not much of a difference. Then, of course, one of them is meant for the export to relational database, and one of them is meant as reading data from the relational database, that is importing. Fine. So let us click on right. So let us click on the source nodes out here, and we can see there is a long list of sources where from we can import into the database. And so out here, okay, that's they've selected filter out here. Okay, we'll right click and we'll delete it. So out here we have this long list of nodes that are available. So what are these nodes typically? Let us go on them one by one. Now we have this reads data from relational database. That is, this is an SQL database. So if you bring it over here, then you double click on it. So it will ask you for the data source and the table name. And so suppose if we select add new database connection, so it will ask us which kind of data source is it. So like, is it Access or is it MS Excel? So suppose, and is it from a local server? Now, we do not have any local server out here for ourselves, but this is how the subsequent windows will come up. So suppose if you select MS Excel, so it will ask you for Excel, okay, and then you click refresh. So of course the Excel will be deselected, but okay, let's select this, and then you enter your username and your password, and then you click connect. Out in our case, we do not have any username or password here, so it is going to throw up an error. There is not enough information to connect this DSN with SQL Connect. Never mind. In our case, we are not opening it using a database. But if you enter here the username and password and click connect, then it should take you to the designated location on the server, and therefrom you can connect it. So this is one thing whereby you will be using username and password, and then when you click on stored credentials, the credentials will appear here. So if you browse on this, it should throw up some of the credentials, which again, in our case, are not quite so applicable, but it's only from your learning perspective as to how it should show up. I'm discussing it here. This is going to take longer, than it's not going to be very pleasing. So let us click on cancel. Okay. Anyway, I'll have to cancel this, it seems, but oops, this is taking longer. Is it? Yeah. Okay. So this is cancelled. So again, like I said, since we are not using any database, so I don't see there is any need for us to go forward on this. But again, out here, this is the data type. That's a filter that you'll be using. The types, annotations. So these are the applicable buttons that you can use. So anyway, I'll cancel this. After this, we have where.file. This is another kind of source that is available. So let's double click on it and see what comes up. Okay, again, you can select the file here. Let's see which file we can select. So these are the given set of files that they have provided us with. Let us pick any random file. And I click open. So that is a file that it has selected. And I click apply. And I click OK. So let's see what's going to come up here. Okay. If I click preview, it's waiting to execute. Now there is going to be a bit of an error because there is no server connection as it was anticipated. So okay, I mean, if you want, you can also save these messages. So you can save these messages also if you click on this. These are general messages. There are execution times messages also that come up over here. So again, this is about creating a stream. We are also in simultaneity creating a stream. Now we don't need this window, so I'm closing this. Let us click on fixed file. What happens here in case of fixed file? So there is a fixed file that they have. There is a file format that it has. Then we can select it from one of these. Not these. There would be other files also, formats also that you can select. But anyway, we are not using this format either. So we'll cancel it. I'll cancel this as well. Now let us select on statistics file. So we can see here what is it reads data from IBM SPSS statistics.sav is the file extension or the file format. Fine. So let us click on that. Yeah, when you double click on it, it will automatically appear on the canvas. Now let us click on this, double click, and I'll import the file. So I select on this three dots here on this button here, browse for files. That's for the browser. And we have some files, statisticsxp.sav. Instead of that, let us also try and see if we can find some other location where from we can see. Now we have some SPSS data sets. It's .sav format. That's a diabetes new variable. And I'm clicking. See out here also it is showing us that this is an SPSS saved file format. .sav is the file extension. So again, I click open here. The variable names, it will read names and labels. It will read data and labels also. And are there any filters? No, we don't need any filters. These are the settings that it has come up with. And if you click on this button, what are these? Well, these are the filters that are not applied or applied. What are the types? If you want, we can read values here. Just click OK to read all the values of the field. So let's click OK and see what comes. No field values need to be read, so that's fine. And so let's come back and annotations. We want to add any annotations? No, we don't have them. Nor do I want to. So I click data and I click apply. I click OK. Right. So now once I click on this, let us click the run from here. Okay. There are no executable nodes, right? Why there are no executable nodes? Because you've not built any stream yet. So let's close this window and come back here. Right click, scroll down onto the view data. Let's click on view data. Okay, all fields have been removed. So there are no fields that are appearing over here. Never mind. But the data that we have here. Now this was how you import the files for your for the different from the different sources. That is the objective. So okay, we do not have any data collection here. We do not have any IBM Cognos Analytics TM1 import. So some of these formats we do not have. Let us go to Excel. Okay, So again, when you select this, it will show you what? It reads data from Microsoft Excel files. So let's double click on this. So when we double click on this, the node appears on the canvas. And now when I click on this node, it will ask me which file do you want to import. Okay. So meanwhile, yeah, okay. So now this is the file type that it is asking us for. Which of the file format do you want? So we'll select 2007 to 2016. That's XLSX. And I click on this button, which is for browsing the file. A line to scan for column and type, it's 200. We can let us see if we can make it 500. Yeah, we have increased it. Choose worksheet by index or by name. We choose it by index, and range on the its range starts from first non-blank row. And, so these are some of the standard settings that are there, and that's okay though. And you click on this buttons here, go on the data. We go on the SPSS. Oh, we don't have any data sets here, so we have to go for the normal data set that we have here. Now we have the following set of files in the XLSX format. Okay, these are the housing price indices, and these are some of the paint companies data, things like that. And we also have some of the Bitcoins data. So let's click on Bitcoins. Now out here we don't have any XLSX format for Bitcoins. We have most of them in the CSV format. So if I scroll on this all files, see, these are the CSV file formats that we have, most of them. So but we are not going into the CSV file formats. So again, we go back on this, and we are going to select only the XLSX file format. So which ones do we have here? Okay, let us select banking data. Okay, and I click open. So that file will now be imported over here. It should show up. Yeah, so the import file is showing up over here. And then I click apply, and I click OK. I can click on OK, but prior to that, let us do one thing. Let us click on preview. Yeah, see, now that is how your data looks like. Had preview worked in case of the SPSS file, then it would have showed up something like this on this window. Never mind. Now again, coming back here. So on this, now we can see there are only 10 tables that have showed. Okay. So so this is not really meant to show all your values, but first few values it will show you, and you click OK over here in the bottom right corner. If you can see OK here, I click OK. But okay, before doing that, what is this? I click on file. You can save this, or you can export it into that .tab, CSV .tab, whichever format you want, HTML format also. You can copy, you can generate or select nodes also from here if you want. So this is what can be done when you open this window, when you're previewing the given data set. And I click OK here, the button in the top or bottom, and right out here we have selected, it selects first row has column names as a default setting. So fine, we'll stick with the default settings. I click apply, and then thereafter I click OK. So this is where we stand, and on the banking data. So what I'll do is now I'll come and left click on the banking data, right click on this node, and then I go up and I select on view data. Excellent. So data view service is initializing. So what will happen is you should be able to read all of the available data on this. So okay, you can see this is buffering here for the retrieving data. And select columns to visualize. So these are all the columns that we intend to visualize. So let us select date, open price, high price, low price, and close price. Okay. So we have selected all the 5 columns, and we are selecting visualize data. Let's see what shows up. Okay. Start by adding columns. You can also see it as a spreadsheet. Yeah. So we can see here, this is the data that we have imported out here. We can see the open prices, high prices, low prices, and close prices. And we scroll down further down. So there are 585 rows with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data points. So all in all, there are 2,500 or slightly more than, if not slightly more actually, it would be 600, 6 5 or 30, almost 3,000, close to 3,000 or under 3,000 data points that we have imported. Now, after this is done, what I do is, let us if click on this, what happens? Run SQL script. Do you want to run the script? Let us run it. No, it's not going to run it because no, it will not run the script. But never mind. I'll close this window. Okay. So fine. This is how we import the data from for the source nodes. So that is what the desire is to learn in this particular section. Again, let us come back to this diabetes new variant file and let's see which kind of file we have missed out on and which can be imported. Let's click on this. We might not be having too many of them files also, so I haven't quite essentially chosen for you all to have those files. Okay, this is the only file that is showing again and again. Right, so it appears that we have not really selected as many of the SPSS files. Let's click on open and let's see what happens. Apply. Okay. You click on view data. No, it is not showing, right? Never mind. Next time, I'll have files for you all, which we can see as SPSS files. Because for today's session, I'm taking prominently only XLSX file formats for your easier understanding. So fine, let us see if we can also attempt and import SAS files, SAS. So this will be read data from SAS files. We also have the JSON format, geospatial, the user input, and all such file formats. So fine, let's click on SAS file. Double click on SAS. Okay, it's now pulled on the canvas. Let us click on. Okay, do we have any of the SAS files? Let us check it. No. No, I don't have any of those SAS files also, although I used to have some of them. It's just that we need to make a bit of an effort to find it. No, this is also. So fine, the most of these data sets that we have, they are in the file form. Let's see in our projects if we have any of them. Docx. Okay, it looks like we don't have that file also, but that's okay. We can export it and I'll show you. I'll import it for you all next time. Fine. So I'm canceling this also. So typically, so far, what we have seen is what are the different sources of files which you can use to import. We can also import using the IBM Cognos Analytics. Let's double click on that. But then again, we do not have any connection for the location where from we can import the files. So yeah, that is not we are covering in this or any future live sessions on this. So anyway, let's see what can be done. No, we do not have any server details for them, nor the namespace ID or username, password, and all. So fine. This is not what we can really look upon. So as for today, we'll be working only on the XLS or XLSX format. And so let us do one thing. We can clear these remaining file types. So I'll click on this, right click on delete. The same thing for IBM Cognos Analytics node, source node, right click, scroll down and delete. Statistic XP, yeah. Right click and scroll down and delete. Fixed file, right click, scroll down, delete. So this is the source node that we have imported and we are working on too. But again, now what is this? What do we see here? This is what, stream one? Yes, it is stream one because it has opened itself as a default for stream one. So after this, what next? Yes, we have attempted to import it. Yeah, we have not imported from the R format, right? Fine, let us see if we have any R files. Mhm. Well, out here, yes. No, we don't have any extension import. What do we have? Let's double click on that and see. Aha, we have an R syntax. Now there are two, three things that can be done. We have a file which is in the R syntax. So let's go on the, yes, we have our projects, we have our live sessions, heuristics. Okay, how can I have a PDF file to follow along? Well, the details will be provided to you, the recordings and all the reference files at the end of the session. So that you all need not worry about. The reference files will be provided at the end of the live sessions once all sessions are finished. So yeah, there are no more open caches. Okay, fine. Mhm. Next, so we opened this. That's the workspace. Wait, let us go back to the folder. So that is open using RStudio, and I click open. Now again, my objective here is to try and import the file data that we have here for R. So can we try and import the data using R? Yes, let us see if it will work. That's the data that we have here. That's a code that we have here. So I'm taking the syntax control C. It also has some of its comments. Let's see if this is going to run here. Control E. I click apply. I click OK. Is anything happening? It doesn't look like anything is happening. Okay, this has to be worked upon, so I'll take a separate session on that for you all. I click run. There are no executable nodes, so it will not run. This is a common thing that will happen. So fine, let us put this aside for a moment and continue with other nodes also, because today we equally intend to cover, yeah, the field and the record ops nodes as well. So fine. So this is how you'll be importing the different nodes, how you will be bringing the source nodes on the canvas, and then you will import the different file formats that we have. Let us do one thing. Let us view this data. It's retrieving the data is a spreadsheet. Okay, right click. We can also, we do not have anything out here which can export this right now. Okay, never mind. What I'll do is I'll show you a little later how we can do the export. If you want, we can export into the SAS format. Let's bring it here. Right click, I'm connecting it here. Click run. Okay, these details are not provided here. Okay. Okay, there are errors that are coming up over here. Okay, I'm not trying this out for you all. So fine. So now that we are done with the sources, the different sources that we have here, we'll now move on to record ops. So what is a record ops? Okay, these are the separate type of nodes that will be, oops, wait. These are the new types of nodes which will help you in the overall data management. So you can select, you can sample, you can sort, you can also balance, distinct, aggregate, RFM aggregate, you can merge, you can append the data that is provided to you. You can also do the CP-lex optimization, streaming, TCMs. These are the different the record ops nodes that are available for us. So fine, let us do one thing. Let us click on sort. So what I'm doing is there are two ways to this. You double click on this and it will automatically get pulled on the canvas, or you can also drag and drop it. So I'm selecting it and I'm dragging it and dropping it over here. Obviously, this is a reasonably simple way of doing. Most softwares have such type of features. So I click on connect. Again, I click on Excel, left click on Excel, right click on Excel and click connect. So when I drag it and bring it over here, it's connected. Now sort. So what do I want to sort? Let's double click on that. So I want to sort the field and the order. So let us click on this button. You can see pick from the set of available fields. So I click on this and then it is showing me which of the fields are available over here. Again, I'll show it to you all. I left click on sort, right click on sort. You can select edit. So this window will open up. Okay, the sort window will open up over here. If you want, you can click on preview, but there is nothing for us to show in terms of preview. Yeah, okay, it is showing us. So the first 10 rows will be coming up over here, but then, okay, this is fine. So what is the optimization? Data is pre-sorted or annotations if you want to add? No. So let us do one thing. Let us sort it. Okay. So I'm selecting on settings. I'm selecting the fields. I want to select what? I'm selecting all of them. All. Click apply and I click OK.